We continue to mourn the loss of two members of our Action News team this morning in that tragic crash of Chopper 6 in Burlington County, New Jersey.
Photographer Christopher Dougherty and pilot Monroe Smith's loss are being felt here at Action News and beyond, and the search for answers into what exactly caused this crash continues this morning.
We have team coverage for you this morning. Corey Davis will have the latest on the investigation in just a moment. First, we head to Catherine Scott live at Northeast Philadelphia Airport, which is the home base for Chopper 6. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, so many people have been coming out and paying tribute to these two members of our team. Action News spoke with one retired journalist who used to fly with Monroe Smith. He said when he heard what happened, his first call was to Monroe and got worried when there was no answer.
And I got worried, so I made another phone call, and when I made that phone call, they were all in tears. Peter was Monroe. I mean, just a great guy. I mean, he took away my fear of flying, and Monroe was a mentor and a friend. And it's a big loss for all of us. But we had the same goals. That was to do the job the best we could do it, and I think we both did that. He did it to the end.
Retired photographer Pete Kane and 67-year-old pilot Monroe Smith went to the same high school, and later the two would fly together. They were partners in the sky. Here you can see Monroe in his 6ABC shirt next to Chopper 6 this past July. Speaking about careers in aviation, the Glenside resident was a retired Army pilot, so proud of his son, who was also a military pilot, and proud of his new grandchild. Chris Dougherty of Oreland was the photographer on board Chopper 6 when it went down. Chris was 45, survived by his wife and two daughters, known to play guitar in the office from time to time while waiting for his next assignment. Pete also knew Chris. He said they'd have dinner, and Chris would talk about family.
Chris and I used to talk and have dinner when I was on the same shift that he and Monroe was on. And a couple times we sat down and chat, and there was sometimes I would have problems with the instruments on my chopper, and he would tell me, look, this is what you have to do.
6ABC leases Chopper 6 from U.S. Helicopters Incorporated. They released a statement saying, "We deeply sympathize with their families and share their grief as a result of this tragic event. We'll share arrangements in accordance with the family's wishes." We're live at Northeast Airport. Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action News.
It's great to hear those stories, Catherine, but it makes you miss them more. Thank you so much. Chopper 6 was last airborne over Wharton State Forest in Washington Township, Burlington County, before it crashed in a remote section of the woods. The crew was returning from an assignment at the Jersey Shore. The NTSB will visit the crash scene this morning to continue the investigation. Action News reporter Corey Davis is live in the studio with more on that part of the story. Good morning, Corey.
Yeah, Matt and Aliana, good morning. So yeah, with all of this, we do know that the NTSB will be getting there for the first time after daylight this morning. And of course, the families of the victims are waiting for answers. We are, as well as TV stations across the country who fly helicopters like this one. Action News spoke with a Philadelphia police lieutenant who flies out of the same hangar as Chopper 6.
Some of the risks that we deal with are different types of mechanical failures in the aircraft. Some of them could be hydraulic failure, loss of an engine, tail rotor failure. It was shocking to hear and very sad to hear. And we really feel for their families, especially this time of year.
Yeah, as their families and their colleagues here at work continue to mourn, the National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, will start the process of getting to the bottom of what went wrong. They'll do that by documenting the crash scene in every way possible. It's out there in the dense woods of the New Jersey Pinelands, so they'll have to take that terrain into account while getting around. An NTSB spokesperson tells us they'll examine the helicopter and then they'll take it to a secure facility for evaluation. They will then check maintenance records and air traffic control communications. We do know with this helicopter that there has been a history of this particular model.
There was a crash of this model helicopter over the Hudson River in New York in 2018. And it was caused by, according to the NTSB, a single engine failure and a bad placement of a fuel shutoff lever.
And the NTSB will also retrace the steps in the history of our pilot, Monroe Smith. The 67-year-old retired Army pilot had an extensive amount of experience and flew since high school. Investigators will trace his steps yesterday before takeoff. And then moving forward, a preliminary report will be available within 30 days. Matt, hopefully providing some additional answers.
And the NTSB always very thorough in their investigations. Thanks, Corey. Action News will continue to follow this tragedy and bring you the latest information as it becomes available to us. Look for updates on the 6 ABC app.